looking for an app for skin retouching to get rid of your impurities in just a couple of simple steps, then this video is for you. I'm gonna show you my 3 favorite apps for face retouching, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. If you want to learn more about photo editing and how to build a creative business, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video each Thursday. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you my 3 favorite skin retouching apps, and I'm gonna show you how you can actually clean your skin with these apps. And as always, I said a couple of requirements what these apps should bring. The first requirement I actually said was that the apps should be for free, but as I continued my research and I was testing a lot, like really a lot of these apps, I realized that hardly any good skin retouching apps are for free. So I didn't want to recommend any crap, so most of the apps I'm gonna recommend to you cost a little bit. One app is for free, but just to let you know, I couldn't find any good retouching apps for free. The second requirement I said was that it should be really easy to use and it should be precise. And the third one was that it should be possible to remove pimples and to smoothen the skin a little, and optionally to like change the face shape a little bit, the lip shape, the nose shape, etc., and to smooth the skin as well. So these were my requirements, and the first app I found was Snapseed, and Snapseed is a free app. It is a really good app for a bunch of different things in my opinion, but it also works for face retouching, and it is the only free app I found which really made sense for me, as the healing brush in Snapseed is really precise and it's also really useful for getting rid of pimples, and it's easy to use. So let's quickly have a look in Snapseed and how it works. So let's jump into Snapseed, and you can see there's this plus icon, and if you go on the plus icon you can choose an image. And as I don't have any like pimples or anything, I thought it maybe makes more sense to use an image of a person who maybe has a couple more impurities to show you actually what the apps can do. So I found an image online which really works for that. So you can see this is the app. You have different looks if you would like to add some look, but the tool we are going to use is the healing brush, which is in here, and basically it works really well. By the way, I'm always using like these normal pencils with the rubber ending. They are just much better than like the fingers, as you can actually see what you're doing on the phone. So it's not expensive. You probably have them at home yourself. So just to let you know, this is not a special pencil. What I actually love about this app, what is also at the 2 other apps I'm going to show you in a second, is that it's not smoothing the skin, but it's actually replacing the skin with skin on the side. So it actually keeps the structure and it makes it look much more natural, and you can hardly see that there was something retouched here. So as you can see, it's really easy to use. You can also change the size of the brush if you zoom in or out. So if you have any bigger things like here, you can just zoom out a little bit and just brush in there. I'm just doing it for a second so you can see what it actually can do. So if you are finished in removing all the impurities and pimples from the face, like you can see here, there are 2 other things that you can do in Snapseed to improve like the skin. One is if you go here on portrait, which is really cool, it actually realizes the face in the image, and there are a couple of different filters you can use to improve like the face in the image or the skin in the image. So you can, for example, smooth the skin here. I would try to not smooth it too much, as this is actually what usually makes the image look really unnatural. But for example, I actually kind of like this filter, as it makes the face even shine a little bit more out of like the really dark background. But it's a little too much. So if I go on like these 3 lines, you can still change all the settings and make it less and more. You can smooth the skin even a little more or less. You can make the eyes a little bit more white, etc. So you can actually see it changed a lot, and these filters actually removed the red areas from her face, which is really helpful. And there's one more thing I usually like to do, and this is going on tools, on brush, and here you can actually paint inside the image with different brushes. Either you can make the exposure higher or lower, you can make the temperature higher or lower, or the saturation higher or lower. So for example, if you have like blue eyes, what I would do, which doesn't make sense in this image, but I'm gonna show you anyway, is going on exposure and just painting in a little bit. So this was a little bit too much. I'm gonna remove it with the eraser and just paint in a little bit in her eye to make it shine even a little more, and also paint a little bit in her white of the eye to make the eye look a little bit more alive and interesting. And I'm gonna make it here as well. And then one more thing that you can do if you like to have, like, for example, redder lips, you can go on the temperature and say maybe +5 and just paint in the lips, and it eventually makes the lips a little bit more red and makes the whole image, in my opinion, a little bit nicer. So this is how the image looked before, and this is how we retouched it in Snapseed. So the second app I want to show you is Facetune 2, and probably most of you know this app as this is the most famous app for skin retouching and face tuning, and it is the most famous one definitely for a reason, as you can do so much stuff in there, but it is not for free. You have a 7-day trial, and after that it costs 38 euros per year. So it's definitely not the cheapest one, but it has some advantages. So if you're into like editing your face, editing your skin, this is definitely one of the best apps you can get. So let's jump into Facetune 2 and see what we can do here. And I'm gonna select exactly the same image as before. So to remove the pimples, first of all, there are two different options. First, you can actually go on retouch and say heal. But in my opinion, there are a couple of problems with this tool. As you can see, it only smoothens it, but it doesn't really remove it. So to have it actually removed, I would go on the patch tool and then paint on this as well, and you can select any area in the face where there's no pimple and the same skin tone and say apply, and therefore you can actually remove the unwanted areas really quickly and effectively. So I'm quickly gonna do it. So when you removed all the impurities, there are a couple of other things that you can do in Facetune. So for example, you can go in retouch and then you can smooth the skin a little bit. You can make it glow, you can make it cleanse, which is, I think, one of the most interesting tools in here. So basically what it does, it cleans the skin a little bit more and makes it look a little bit smoother, but kind of naturally, in my opinion. So I'm just applying it to the face and trying to clean it a little bit, making it a little bit smoother and just lowering the contrast so it's not that red and white kind of. So it already looks a little bit smoother, and you can make it extremer or less extreme. I think it still should look natural. In the cool areas, you can also use the cool down tool and just paint a little bit of cooler color in the red tones to make them a little bit, you know, more natural, kind of. And if it was too much, like here on the nose, you can just remove it with the eraser tool. If you want to make the lips a little bit more red, you can do it with the Vibrance. So I just go in with the Vibrance and just lower it to like 5 or 6, and then I just paint in the inside the lips and make them a little bit more red. You can of course try all the tools and use whatever you think is best for your face, but I still want it to look natural and don't want it to be like super smooth. If you want to, you can try the looks, but in my opinion they are just far too much. So you can see it just changes the face pretty much completely, and I think that's not natural anymore and I don't want it. But if you feel like this is good for your face, you can just try it out. I think it's just unnatural. So of course you can try out all the different tools here. I don't want it to be too smooth, so I think this is fine for her. There are a couple of really crazy things you can do in this app, like here for example change the hair color and try out different hair colors, but that is not something I'm interested in. So one more thing I think that might be interesting for some of you guys is that you can change the shape of your face, you can change the shape of your eye, of your nose, etc. So I wouldn't overuse it, but if you just want to use it a tiny little bit, you can do it here in this app, make your eyebrows a little thicker, etc. I personally never use it, to be honest. I just want to make the skin a little smoother, but if you are interested in doing a little bit of adjustments to your face, you can do it in Facetune. That's probably why it's called Facetune. So this is how the image looked before, and this is how it looked after editing it with Facetune too. And the last skin retouching app I want to show you is PS Express. It is free until a certain level, but all the healing brushes and face tuning tools are not for free. So it costs 38 euros per year. So pretty similar as Facetune too, but it has a couple more options in my opinion. So I like it better than Facetune, if I can say so. So let's just jump into this app and see what it can do. So you can see when we open this app, there are a couple of different options. You can either edit, mix. Mix is if you want to stitch two images together, collage, retouch or capture an image. And we obviously want to retouch an image now. I'm going to use exactly the same image as before. And you can see it actually already realizes the face in the image, which is really cool. And if you want to have like a really quick retouch, you can just say smooth and it smooths the skin a little bit, which is not really natural, so I'm just gonna leave it. But if you go on the healing brush, you can see you can use a healing brush such as in the other apps. So basically I'm just going on the impurities and I'm removing them really quickly and effectively with the healing brush. So I'm just quickly gonna do it and you can see how it looks afterwards. So after you retouch the skin a little bit, there are a couple of things you can do. So for example, now I can go on smooth skin and I can just smooth it a little bit as much as I think is good. And you have another option, like for example, face. I personally don't use it and don't like to use it, but if you feel insecure about your lips or whatever, you can just make the lips a little bigger. For example, here the upper lip, the down lip, you can make it wider. You can make the whole lips a little bigger. You can make the face smaller, your nose smaller, so you have all the options such as in Facetune as well. And there's another option which I personally really like is adding makeup on your lips. I usually have red lips, so I actually pretty much like it. So for example, here on Natural, there's one lip color which I think is really nice. So you can add some different lip colors if you prefer that, and of course you can also edit the image. You can open it and edit and just adjust the light, etc. You can make more contrast, you can add a couple of looks. So if that is something you're interested in, like PS Express has a lot to offer. And here you can see now again how it looked before and how it now looks after the edit. So it's quite a big difference. So that is it. These are my 3 favorite skin retouching apps. I hope this video helped you to decide which skin retouching app makes the most sense to you. If you like this video, I would be super happy if you could hit the like button. And if you want to learn more about photo editing and how to build a creative business, I would be super happy if you would subscribe to my channel, as I'm posting more videos about this topic. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I see you next Thursday. Bye!